Hi, and welcome back to Sense and Sensitivity. Still over here with my funny voice, but I'm feeling all right. I have a baby napping on me and a toddler napping in the room, so I thought it would be a great time to make another little video. And today's video, I'm debating the title still, but in my mind, it's something like, You are so much more than just your skin or your rosacea. And this is inspired by my toddler's book called The Box Turtle, in which the parents tell him he is so much more than just a shell because, long story short, he's born without a shell and they give him a box as a shell. And it's a really sweet, cute book. But back to the topic at hand, this is going to kind of just be some musings and incomplete thoughts that I've had for years now about rosacea, skin health, the beauty industry, etc., and some voices that have influenced me. And hopefully it's some food for thought for you. So some of the things that I think about are, many of us, myself included, feel upset that our skin has redness or bumps from rosacea. And so we're always seeking to find products to try and lessen those symptoms, and B, mask them. And so lessening them means like skincare, treatments, etc. And I think it seems that there are good treatments out there, especially for the bumps. Like that's where the Metrogel azelaic acid prescriptions come in. The redness, as I've read many times, as my dermatologist has told me, is really, really hard to mitigate. There is some of it that you can lessen by, figuring out your triggers, having a good skincare regimen, not having dry skin or irritated skin, things like that. But there is going to be a baseline redness for a lot of us that's not going to go away, except maybe with laser treatment, which is a whole, investment financially and perhaps some recovery time, and just not something accessible to all of us or something that we're all interested in. So that's where the covering comes in: makeup, tinted products, green redness reducing primers, and all those kinds of things. And my question is, why do we worry about these things? Is it because our society has really created this unattainable belief system that, perfected skin is good skin and also something we should be striving to achieve? I mean, I definitely think that's at least part of it. I think there is an innate desire for humans to seek out beauty, but what does beauty mean, right? Does beauty mean not having red skin? I don't know. But it's good to question things like that and keep ourselves in check, because when you're suffering with a skin condition, it can snowball into self-worth and stress, anxiety, frustration, all of these things, tons of money and time spent on trying to figure out what works for us. And there comes a point where I'll just speak for myself, there comes a point with being content with good enough. And for me, that really comes with the feel of my skin and not the look of my skin as much. And that's because with my rosacea, when it's aggravated, I get tightness and a lot of burning and heat and swelling, where I can literally feel my skin is swollen, is puffy. And I've been struggling with that lately with the change in weather, and I'll talk about that in another video. But especially with having kids and having so much less time, that's sort of a conclusion I've come to over the past couple years, is like, I'm just not as interested anymore, maybe because I've been doing this trialing out stuff and whatever for so long, with continuing to try to seek out products that are going to reduce it a little less or do this or that. It's like, if my skin feels good, if I'm not constantly flaring, if it doesn't feel tight, if I'm not having the constant burning and tingling, if my skin feels good and calm, that's the most important thing. And trying to seek out things to reduce my redness is just, the products that work to make me feel good are good enough. And I use, my tinted sunblock, and that's good enough. And it's so funny because I know that like a friend of mine recently commented on my skin being, she commented on me being like so fair and rosy. And I think it was maybe a compliment or just a statement of fact. And it did sort of upset me. I didn't say anything, because it was like, oh, but I'm wearing my tinted sunblock. And like, how, like, no, that means it's showing so much. And, just trying to get past that. Because we are so much more than just our skin. And our skin feeling good and us feeling good about ourselves should not be constantly tied to what it looks like. And some of the people, or somebody who's really influenced me thinking through these things a lot, is named Jessica DeFino. She is a beauty journalist. She, I guess, used to work for the Kardashians and maybe like beauty magazines, and then sort of saw the light of like how manipulative all of it is, and now writes independently about how damaging skincare products can be to our skin, like literally to our physical skin, as well as, mentally, psychologically, financially, all of these things. And she writes a lot about how the skin has its own mechanisms for healing itself, for caring for itself without needing tons of products. Now, that's a point that I've, thought about a lot, because it's not as easy when you have a skin condition, a chronic skin condition like us. I've experimented with, well, I'm just going to not use any products then because I want my skin to heal itself. And every experiment I've done with that has not worked. My skin can't, and this is where like a lot of the information from Marie Veronique's website comes into play, where she talks about like skin dysbiosis for people with rosacea. Our skin, for a lot of us, can't regulate itself in a healthy way, and we do need the supportive products. It's like taking a medication. It's an external topical medication in the form of skincare or actual prescription medicine to help our skin regulate itself, heal, and be in balance. And so, understanding that there is a time and a place for products, and not completely blacklisting the entire beauty industry, but seeking out the voices, the people, the businesses, the brands, the products that speak to you, that are supporting you on your journey, and not making us question our self-worth by us not looking like the images that they're promoting. And I'm just so glad I don't read those beauty magazines anymore. That was a huge part of my teenage years. And, I had no idea at the time. Everything was digitally retouched. My husband he has worked in television doing some of that stuff. And so through him, I've really learned just how manipulative it can be. And he doesn't work in beauty, but just other stuff related to TV, where they can edit things out and cut things out and stuff like that, or make a person look different, basically. And it's nuts. It's crazy. I mean, reshaping whole bodies, facial features, of course, color correcting. And so just don't forget that you are amazing. and do what feels right for you as a person, that makes you feel good, that's sustainable, and focus on other things in your life as well. Easier said than done, for sure, especially if you're having a really tough time struggling. But these are just kind of thoughts of mine, and some words of encouragement that sometimes things can only help so much, and also finding ways to be content with where we're at, and also not getting lost in the beauty industry's like manipulative machine of always searching for something better that's going to make us look more like XYZ person and have glass skin and all these things that are just not realistic for most people, whether they have rosacea or not. Um, anyway, those are just some thoughts, a little ramble. I hope you found this interesting. Comment below. Please take care of yourselves, your health, your mental health, especially this holiday season. And thank you so much for watching. I will be back with more. Bye for now.